It's Kyle from Magpie 24/7 and I hope you're all good. So, it's been an interesting couple of weeks on the Newcastle United front. Obviously, the last time you seen me was when Sven Botman was officially announced, and although we haven't made any signings since, we've been linked with a good couple of players. And to be honest, this video is kind of just a rundown of the week, not just one particular thing. Yeah, I mean, Newcastle had the first friendly behind closed doors, beating Gateshead 5-1. Like, I know it's not much to look into, but this time last year we were getting beat off York. And Harrogate Town in the same day. I've not been allowed to forget that one quick because I was down for a minute because I was down on Time Off Beach when that happened, and I still get laughed at for the day for it. Because I watched the last couple of minutes live on YouTube because I couldn't get any signal. You know what it's like down on Time Off Beach. You kind of get signal for shit, and I get to the top where like Time Out Priory is, and finally get some signal, and we went 1-0 down. It was a fan fucking tastic. A season under Steve Bruce was very not looking forward to it then. Whereas you put it to now when it's such a different vibe, looking for kind of wait till the start of the season. We're linked with players left, right, and centre, and things seem to be looking up with a 5-1 win and a friendly. Miggy Almiron scoring 2 goals, Joelinton from the spot, Matt Ritchie even getting in with a goal, and the other goal scorer, I think, yeah, Sean Longstaff being that other scorer. We'll not show. I kind show the goals. I'm not on UFC TV, sadly, but yeah. If you go on the Newcastle United socials, you'll be able to find them. But there's some good goals there, especially Miggy's second, which proves his goal against Crystal Palace wasn't a fluke. So it's very similar. It's just a bit lower down into the goal. But yeah, it seems we've been linked with Moussa Diaby over the past week or so, with a rumoured €60 million being looked at. I think this one will be a stretch too far for us, to be honest. I mean, I'm not in the know. I'm not going to pretend I'm in the know like a lot of people do, but I just don't see that one happening. To be fair, I didn't think the Botman one would happen with the tug of war with AC Milan, and we ended up getting Botman. So I could be wrong and be wrong again. I don't mind being wrong. I'll be happy to be proved wrong. Don't get it twisted. But yeah, I think going after players like this, it's nice ambition from the club. But we've also been linked with a couple of other names. Been linked with Anthony Gordon. Stay well away. I'm sorry, I think he's fucking shit. I'd rather keep the 30 million and put it somewhere else and keep Jacob Murphy. I don't rate Jacob Murphy before you just get into it, but I'd rather keep Jacob Murphy than take a chance on Anthony Gordon, who has had an okay half a season. It's basically the same as when Dwight McNeil had a good half a season and he was linked out with Burnley for 30 million. It's like, it's daft. It's fucking stupid. I would go anywhere near Anthony Gordon. I don't rate him, and I don't think he'll have a good season at Everton. If Everton fans clip this and take it back, good for yous. Couldn't give a fuck. But other wingers we've been linked with, Paqueta seems to be one that's on the radar because he's handed in a transfer request at Lyon. But I don't know about that one because he seems to be linked with Arsenal, and he has got good options there because there's a good Brazilian contingent at Arsenal and there's a good Brazilian contingent at Newcastle. He's best made plays for Newcastle though in Bruno Guimaraes, so hopefully, fingers crossed on that one. I'd love to see that Brazilian trio of Joelinton, Paqueta, and Bruno. That'd be class for next season. But we've been linked with a couple of other names as well. Marlon Sarr from Watford in a 20 million deal. This is one I would probably look at, because the other name's been Cornet from Burnley, but I honestly think Sarr is a very underrated talent, and I think someone like Eddie Howe would get good out of him, and in a couple of years there is a chance he could become like a brilliant player. I know he's had a bit of a topsy turvy time at Watford, but to be fair, a new manager in every 5 minutes, I think he just needs a club that's going to play to his strengths, and I think at Newcastle that would be the case. So personally, I would go for Marlon Saw out of the suggested names, just because I think Paqueta is unrealistic at this time, and I also think the same with Diaby. If them become realistic, then go after them. We've also been linked with Marco Asensio from Real Madrid, and for me, he's a quality player. I just don't. I think the wage bracket will be a bit too high for him because he is on a lot of money at the minute at Real Madrid. But get your comments in. Who would you go for? Because genuinely, I'll go for Saul because he's got Premier League experience. He'd fit into the side quite well. He's pacey. He can play on both sides of the park. So that I think that's a good option. Then it goes with Ryan Fraser, which I think a lot of people's forgot about in this winger saga. How well Ryan Fraser did the second part of last season. Miggy obviously is improving, and obviously you've got St Maximin as well. We do need another winger to accommodate them because I don't want to rely on Jacob Murphy to be a fourth choice. So if I was to choose personally and look at the most realistic, it'd be Saw. But if you were to give us a free rein of who I'd want out of those players, I would definitely go for Diaby because that lad is class. But that seems to be the main rundown for this week in terms of players coming in. Players going out, Kieran Clark is going to Sheffield United on loan, which will take him to the end of his Newcastle contract at the end of next season, at the end of this coming season, which I think it makes a lot of sense, to be honest. I mean, Kieran Clark last season was absolutely abysmal, and I know I know a lot of people say he should be credited with Joe Linton being put into the midfield, but no. Kieran Clark was absolutely terrible last season, and he should be one of the first out the door, in my opinion. However, that doesn't take away from what he's done at Newcastle United, because barring last season and half of the season before, where he started to fall off a cliff a little bit, and normal clubs, players like that usually get sold on around that time. But he picked up an injury, came back, and he never found his feet again after that. Could you say he got bruised? Maybe. But up until that point, the championship season, the promotion season, the season after that under Rafa, Kieran Clark was a very solid centre back, and he done very well for Newcastle, coming in with the odd goal here and there, and just being a solid foundation of that promotion team that came up and managed to keep Newcastle up in those years. So as much as he had a bad season, and I say at the time he should never play for Newcastle again, especially after the Norwich sending off, but despite that, I think he deserves a lot of credit for how he's carried himself during his time at Newcastle, and he's always been a solid professional. We'll skip the IB5 story, but no, he's been a great servant, and I wish him nothing but the best at Bramble Lane. It's a good club for him to go to. Solid blocks being put in there for a promotion challenge next season, and obviously Kieran Clark's well equipped and experienced to go down to the championship and play his trade. So good luck to him. But that's the only outgoing at the moment. There's been links of Dwight Gale in that as well, but I'm not sure where that is at the minute. It might be a case of things are getting sorted out for this week, but there's a lot of going on with Birmingham at the minute. I don't know if you're seeing the TalkSport interview with the rumour lad to take over, but he seems a bit of a nut job. So Dwight Gale going to Birmingham could happen, could not, I don't know. But that's the latest on the transfers this week. Check out for more. We're all looking at a monthly podcast at the start, like going towards the start of the season, with me, Paul, Tommy, Jack, and maybe Rob on board as well. For a monthly podcast, we're just getting with streaming and that sorted for that. So stay tuned for that. Get your comments in. Who would you look to sign for a winger for the start of the season? Is there anyone else that you would look to get between now and the end of the window? And leave a comment. drop a like, leave a subscribe on the channel. We're looking to get to 1,000 by the end of next year. The end of this coming season, and hopefully we can get there. It's been a it's been a long road to get to 1,000, and hopefully we can get there. It's the big roadblock, I've been told by a lot of Newcastle YouTubers. So hopefully we can get over that first hurdle. But I'll leave us for now and catch you on the next one. Catch you later, everyone. Ta-ra, bye.